Good evening, everyone. This is Jean. I am here in Foundation, about to take on the level 70 Dark Knight quest. This has been quite the journey, if not a very unusual one. This storyline has had me scratching my head the entire time. I know some of you have ranted and raved about how much you liked it, but for me, it just gave me more questions than answers, truth be told. So, oh well, let's get to it, shall we? Let's be about it, as they say. Our compromise. You knew from the first that there was only one way this could end. Damn it, Myste. We're gonna have to track him down and make him return the remainder of the Aether he stole from you, aren't we? He said that when this was finished, naught would remain of him. Bloody vague and ominous, to say the least. We'll just have to press him for answers when we find him. You last saw him at Rogger's Reach in Garabania, yes? We'll start there. I'm going too, and I won't take no for an answer. Zid's gotten better, but he's a long way from fully recovered. Besides, you'll need someone else to help you do the talking. Sid's no good at it. He's like, I can't win for losing. Okay, so back to Rogger's Reach. Wrong one. God. Off we go. Alright, let's see. Okay, so there's two places in the western and one here. We'll go to the western ones first. Resistance Beast Tamer. What's that? You're looking for that boy too, are you? I was watching some birds late the other night when I hear someone skulking behind me. Forgive me, I hear him saying before he runs off and disappears into the dark. Then I realize it's quiet. Too quiet, eh? Sleeping birds make noise, and mine ain't, 'cause they're dead. Every last one of them. No wounds or any other obvious marks, but there they lie, like the life was sucked right out of them. I don't know how or why he did it, but there's no denying that he did. I demand recompense. If you find him, you bring him to me. Let's see. In here? Ah, Arilla. Hi, Arilla. Ah, yes. I remember the long-hair boy. Very curious, with many questions about the nature of ether. He conversed with one of the Adder conjurers for a time. I know not what they discussed, but from his expression I gathered it was important. Alright. So let's head towards the exit. Looking for a young boy with long blue hair, you say? Reckon I would remember someone like that if they were to come this way, and I don't. Spoke with the fellow before me, but during the changing of the guard, as we do, And he made no mention of anyone matching that description either. Okay, where's Sid? Way over there. Why can't people be nearby? Oh shoot. How about I get over the rock? Our inspector returns. Tell us, have you learned aught of Myste's whereabouts? Seen conversing with the conjurer and possibly killing chocobos. Not sure what to make of that, though we can be sure he stayed here for a time. But perhaps no longer. We learned but moments ago from Gillo here that a boy matching Myste's description was seen leaving the Reach. He is for the peaks, and so are we. Yep. No visible injuries, no bleeding. Aye, it is as Riel says. These beasts died for no discernible reason, just like the chocobos that men in the Reach claims Myste somehow killed. But it doesn't add up. Other than his singular magic, Myste was utterly helpless unless... Was he always capable of this? But we know the answer already. He stole your Aether when we first met. Even if he could do it, even if he did do it, why? We'll ask him when we find him, and this time you'll let me do the talking. Search the Eth. Riel and I will head south. We'll meet in between if we find naught, and if we do, either you will come to our aid or we to yours. Oh shoot, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. As you survey your surroundings, you observe naught out of the ordinary, but on the edge of hearing, you hear a whisper to the southwest. Oh shoot. If that is in my way, I may have to pause recording until I finish it. I'm gonna have to probably deal with that first, which I really don't want to, but if it's in my way, I will. Let me see. Where's Sid and them? Oh, they're the other way. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I didn't want to have to fight that thing. Yep, here we go. Duty calls. Commence battle for our compromise. If your level is above 70, it will be synced. Seven hells. I hate being right. On your guard. Myste has shown his true colors. The aether or whatever else he took from those beasts has given him tremendous strength. Contrary to his earlier warnings, conjuring another simulacrum wasn't the end of him, and of all the wonderful people he had to pluck from our memories, he chose Stride de Calinot. I'm sorry if I tore up that name, but oh well. He knows why we're here, and this is his answer. He summoned the monster that haunts Rael in her dreams and sends her screaming from her bed. Forgive me, Sid, but you gave me no choice. Let's see, I'll say the second one. There is always a choice. No, there isn't. Not really. Can you even remember why you came here? Can you even remember how many you killed? How many lives shattered? How many stories ended? Well, it was for good reasons. It wasn't just la-di-da killing. Upon the surface of the crystal are carved the sins of dark nights past, and yours are beyond counting, beyond fathoming, without end. Justice is an excuse. Nobility is a lie. Murder is murder. And though we are most definitely not without fault, it is this cruel, indifferent world which has made murderers out of us all. But we need suffer no longer. I sought to make these broken souls whole, one by one, when in truth the solution was much more simple. A world beyond pain and suffering and anguish and despair. A world beyond death. A world in which we never need bid farewell to our dearest friends. And how many beasts will you need to kill to make this world of yours? How much more ether will you consume to see it through? Bloody self-righteous sophistry from a mewling whelp. So your brilliant plan is to fill the world with simulacra of the dead, is it? And somehow that's supposed to make everyone happy? Well, you're right about one thing, I'll grant you that. This world is brutal, uncaring, without logic or justice. No justice but that which we make for ourselves, and I'll be damned if I give it up to you so you can force your illusions upon us to assuage your guilt. Did you not find comfort in your reunion with your master? Even though you knew it was a lie, didn't I help you to unburden your soul, to find a measure of peace in this madness? I am not your enemy, not then or now. I will not fight you. All I ask is that you leave me to do my duty. It's never too late to turn back. You are still a good person. You can still be a good person. So, this is your answer. Maybe you cannot accept what needs to be done, but I can. Goodbye. All right. So many broken by this world, and then by you. So many. Woe betide the man who stand opposed to the weapon of light, for death will be his reward. Death for him and his kin, and all that he holds dear. Woe betide the man who stands with the weapon of light, for death will be his reward. Death for him and his kin, and all that he holds dear. Like sands through the hourglass, everything we fight so desperately to protect slips through our fingers. And what remains? What remains? Is us. Only us and the memory of our sin. To walk this path is to suffer, to sacrifice. Listen to my voice. Listen to our heartbeats. We'll do the first one. Justice demands no less. Serve, save, slay, slay. I've sins plenty, but regrets not so much. And if he wouldn't listen to me, the embodiment of good sense and pragmatism, then what hope could you possibly have? A house divided cannot stand, you know. This childish rebellion ends now. What in the seven hells is this? A compromise, I suppose. Our dear friend here refused to let me take the reins, but I wasn't about to stand idly by while that imbecile tries to do whatever it was that he's trying to do. No hard feelings about White Brim, eh? Promise not to stab you in the back. It'll be just like old times. A dark knight needs a sword. Take mine. No! No! This is wrong! This is all wrong! I offer you peace, restitution, a chance to make amends. Do not think you are above it. Do not think that a reckoning will be postponed indefinitely. When it comes, I shall welcome it with open arms. But today will not be that day, and you will not be the judge. But they're weak. a throne of bone he waits. Dug deep for those magnificent bastards, didn't you? They have scanners. Oh well. That might help a little bit. Are you kidding me? Oh my god! I'll be damned! I failed it! Oh my gosh! Well, Okay. Damn. Well. And we will skip the cutscene. Yep. I'll make sure I cut that out. So many broken by this world, and then by you. So many. Woe betide the man who stands opposed to the warrior of the weapon of light, for death will be his reward, death for him and his kin, and all that he holds dear. Woe betide the man who stands with the weapon of light, for death will be his reward, death for him and his kin, and all that he holds dear. Like sands through the hourglass, everything we fight so desperately to protect slips through our fingers. And what remains? What remains? Is us. Only us, and the memory of our sin. To walk this path is to suffer, to sacrifice. Listen to my voice. Listen to our heartbeat. Justice demands no less. Serve, save, slave, slay. I've sins aplenty, aye, but regrets not so much. And if he wouldn't listen to me, the embodiment of good sense and pragmatism, then what hope could you possibly have? A house divided cannot stand, you know. This childish rebellion ends now. What in the seven hells is this? A compromise, I suppose. Our dear friend here refused to let me take the reins, but I wasn't about to stand idly by while that imbecile tries to do whatever it was he was trying to do. No hard feelings about white brim, eh? Promise not to stab you in the back. It'll be just like old times. A dark knight needs a sword. Take mine. No! No! This is wrong! This is all wrong! I offer you peace, restitution, a chance to make amends. Do not think you are above it. Do not think that a reckoning will not be postponed indefinitely. Will be postponed indefinitely. Sorry. When it comes, I shall welcome it with open arms. But today will not be that day, and you will not be the judge. pound of bone he weighs. Dug deep for those magnificent bastards, did you? Unless you forget we've bested them before. It's my turn to jump on you. You defy the only rightful god. Whatever. Chorus falls silent in the abyss. Finish it, Bryce. Use Soul Eater. Reclaim the last of your ether. Make us whole. A reckoning will not be. Yes! Forgive me. Forgive me. I ask, I beg, I pray, but it never comes. Again, they go to join the multitude in the black oblivion of the abyss. Such is our lot. Such is the fate of all who are born, to suffer and to die. Do not seek forgiveness, for it will not ease the burden. It weighs as it should. But what of the lost? Do they not deserve to live again? They do. in our hearts, in our souls, in our memories. No one likes having to say goodbye, but it's a part of life. That's what makes the time we share together so precious. You can't obsess over the mistakes of the past, or you'll lose sight of the future, of the people still with us, who need us more than ever. The greatest strength is born of the flame in the abyss. Listen to my voice. Listen to our heartbeat. Listen. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Thank you. That is all I ever wanted. So, this is it. One last parting. One last farewell, after a fashion. In your darkest hour, in the blackest night, think of me, and I will be with you, always. For where else could I go? Who else could I love but you? Alright, one last trip. And final goodbye, after a fashion. You'll forgive us for returning to Ishgard ahead of you. I hope. I, needed some time to think on everything that happened in Garabania. I won't pretend to know everything you've been through in your life. Excuse me. A man can never truly understand what's in another's heart, and probably not in their own for that matter. I'm pretty much rambling at this point, but I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I'm grateful for everything you've done for me and Rael. I like you, I respect you, and I'll always be here for you if you need me. We're fellow walkers of the path after all, and friends, I'd like to think. Well, that's something I wasn't expecting. I've been wondering. Myste appeared at the same time the soul crystal cracked, yes? But which happened first? And why then and there? Damned if I know. Does anyone truly understand how soul crystals work? What matters is that the crystal and Bryce have been made whole. That said, A heart bleeds, a man weeps, a soul burns. Thence comes the darkness to consume, and few hearts have bled as much as his. Speaking of bleeding, I think your wounds have reopened. If you would sit, it would be much easier for me to tend to them. And you should get some rest too, Bryce. Not all wounds are so obvious. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, praise Helone. She's right, though. No need to overdo it by running off to the next battle just yet. If you must put one foot in front of the other, though, why don't you go back to where this whole damn mess began? Maybe you'll have an epiphany. That would be the last vigil. Shoot, stop clicking on yourself. Where it all began. What troubles you, Master Pensforth? Oh. Ah, but of course, 'tis bitterly cold this day. At times like these, one should be warming themselves by the fire. Not a day goes by without your name being spoken, you know. The soldiers and merchants often bring us news of your latest exploits. That said, to hear it from the hero himself will be much more preferable. But there will be no expectation were you to call on us. The pleasure of your company alone would be more than enough. Rare though I expect it will be in the days to come. But your destiny was never to remain here, was it? Though a part of me wishes that you would. Forgive me. I find myself growing more and more sentimental in my old age. And in working on my memoirs, I have had to reflect on the darker chapters in my life. Harshfont lived his to the fullest, and if his story is preserved for generations to come, then I should be glad of it. You will always have a place here, Bryce, for you are family. Now go. Do not let me keep you from your labors. The world waits for none, not even you. And that is it for now. From the depths of the abyss, you hear a whisper and are filled with warmth. The blackest nights. Alright. Well, like I said, this quest line was something else. It really was. It was very, very interesting. And I've heard a lot of theories about what people thought it was about and everything. And, I mean, I've taken it with a grain of salt and reflected upon it myself. Yeah, it's probably a lot like dealing with the first part of the Dark Knight quest. If you remember the very beginning of this, how that ended. Something along those lines, but it went a little bit further this time. And one thing that people have talked about is how the Dark Knight storyline more or less reflects on how the Warrior of Light wishes they could be without having to answer to anyone about anything. Which, I mean, I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that because, I mean, you know through the MSQ how people tell your character not to cry or whatever whenever something tragic happens. Keep a smile on your face, you know. They'd say to rest or whatever, but of course our character doesn't do it. They just keep going. They are duty bound. They aren't free to do as they like. They always have to answer to someone about something, sometime. And it is kind of sad that that's the way that their life is, but it's what people have come to rely upon. So, I don't know. It's been very interesting to see the way that this is developed. I will say it is much more different from any of the other storylines, which those are the basic get through whatever for whatever storyline that they had. This is like my last job quest that I'm finishing up. I finished all the other job quests, save for Dragoon, of course. And all of them have had a very good storyline, except for the warrior one. That one was really stupid. I'm sorry, but it was. I enjoyed all the other ones, even though a couple of them did get on my nerves, but I got through them. But anyhow, so this is it for the time being until the next set of job quests come out with probably 5.0. So until then, have a good one, everyone. See ya.